Hey guys, welcome back to Rob's Arcade. I'm your host, Rob French. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. We got a follow-up episode coming up. Hang tight. Buckle up. Be right back.
Rob's Arcade, Rob's Arcade, where the games get played and the games get saved so they can be played on another day. Rob's Arcade.
All right, guys, what's up? Just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up video to my 40 days and 40 nights video, because technically it was like basically just 40 days at that point. I hadn't really hit my 40 nights mark. I'm now on hitting my 42nd day sober, no drinks. And it feels good, man. It feels awesome. I feel a lot better. I feel like every day it's more rewarding not drinking, and takes less of that pressure of like, I still, find myself every now and again thinking like, well, when's a good time for, am I even gonna like drinking? Sometimes I want to like just grab a bottle and just have some liquor and see if like, am I gonna like it? Am I even gonna like the taste anymore? But yeah, in the past couple of weeks, I found myself asking like, well, when's a good time for me to be like, all right, I've got it under control, I can have a drink or whatever. And I'm just like, no, I don't think, it's never going to be okay, Robert. You're never going to have, I think, that mentality where you can just have like one or two and say, okay, that's enough. You can put it away. But as the day, as the days get more rewarding, that pressure, that thought in the back of the head quiets a bit more. I'm not going to say it goes away completely, but it definitely quiets, kind of mutes itself a little bit. Like I said, I went out with some friends, ironically, for my 40 days, 40 nights transition period, and we're just kind of catching up with some people I used to work with, some people I work with now, just kind of hanging out outside of work, getting to know everybody a little bit better, finding out some secrets about some friends, which was pretty fun, and just kind of getting out, having that distraction that I've, desperately needed lately. And it was a lot of fun, but I was a little curious and a little nervous if being in an actual bar would be different, especially being with friends. Like, I remember being in Florida before I came back to Virginia thinking like, maybe I can go to Glory Days, pick up some dinner for my wife and I, and just have a Pepsi while I wait for the food, and kind of sit in a bar environment and make sure that, I'm strong enough not to drink anything. And I decided not to. I decided, no, it's just a little too early to try and tempt myself, And then I was like, I'm going out last night, and I was wondering, is it going to be more difficult being around a group of people? Like, if I'm sitting at a table and everybody at the table is drinking, am I going to be able to be like, no, I'm okay with just getting a water? And come to find out, I was perfectly okay with that. It was awesome. And also knowing that, I was kind of being responsible and that my friends could count on me to get them home. I was like, I picked up a friend of mine who I used to work with, and, she could know that, she had somebody to get her home who wasn't drinking. And there was just like a responsibility in that, that just feels really good. And you can't really get that, from doing shots all night. Like, you can't get that same feeling. So it wasn't as difficult as I thought. In fact, I had a lot of fun just hanging out, drinking Pepsi, just kind of hanging out with some friends, having some appetizers, and not spending, $100 or more on a bar tab. Because that would have been me. I would have gone out last night thinking like, oh yeah, we'll have like one or two drinks. And I would have kept probably checking my bank account, seeing like, you know, can I get one more shot? Can I get one more beer? Let me get one more beer. I get one more beer. So, but yeah, I mean, I did it. You know, I went out. I had a good time. Didn't feel the need to drink, and you know, it's something I guess I knew, but it's like, you know, you don't need alcohol to hang out and have a good time with your friends, even if you're going out like downtown or like, you know, to some like strip where there's like nothing but sports bars and you know, strip clubs and casinos. Like, you don't have to drink to have a good time, man. You really don't. I did eat a weed cookie. I thought, like, you know, I'm not drinking. I do want to kind of hang out. I do enjoy THC. I enjoy CBD, THC, Delta 8, Delta 9. Heck, I like smoking it, you know. I've always enjoyed THC, and that was part of the thing with the drinking, was that, like, I think drinking was actually getting in the way of my enjoyment of THC, and I was finding myself, you know, drinking more. And I was like, no, that's not who I'm. You know, I've always liked stimulants. I like coffee. Caffeine, a little THC. For some reason, alcohol got in the mix with all that, and I was kind of like, I felt like I was like losing my way, kind of like losing, like, you know, what I really like to do and what I was really into. And same thing with, like, even like, you know, like my comics and just different, like Lego, just different things that I'm into. Like, alcohol just kept getting in the way of that. Like, I'd want to do like a video for, you know, YouTube on like a Lego set or like something, and I would just, you know, just constantly get in the way of things. And so yeah, anyway, I did have a weed cookie. That was fun. You know, it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't like I was like, out of my mind, but I did, you know, I had fun. It was, you know, very giggly, I would say. And, you know, between the Pepsi and the weed cookie, I had a really good time. But I think like I said, the main point is I was able to go out to a couple of bars. I went out to 2 bars. Was able to hang out with my friends, sit around the table with alcohol, and not feel the need to grab a drink, and not be angry, you know, not be upset and be sitting there and going like, oh man, it's not fair. Everybody can drink and I can't. I was actually explaining with a coworker the other day. They're like, you know, I don't understand. Like, you don't miss it. Like, you don't, like, you know, you don't really. I was like, sometimes I do miss it. But for the most part, I just really enjoy not, and I mean, I guess, you know, I've done it. I've you know, I'm 42 now. You know, I've been drinking since I was in, you know, I've tried alcohol probably in, like, you know, in high school, like most people do. But I was saying, you know, I've been drinking since I've been in my 20s somewhere, you know, since I was able to actually go to the bars and grab a drink and hang out. I've been doing it. And I don't know if, like, it's just old now or played out or whatever it is, but I'm actually enjoying my life without alcohol. Like, you know, it's like, I kind of like realized, like, hey, I don't need it. I don't have to have it to go out and have a good time. You know, all in your 20s and in your 30s and everything, whatever, you know, even as you're a teenager and like high school parties, you're kind of taught that you need to have alcohol to have a good time. And just kind of sound like a freaking Disney Channel original movie or whatever. But it's just so true. You don't need it. You know, you really don't. And, you know, you kind of like, you grow up, you go through, you know, like, say your 20s, your college years and all that, going to parties thinking like, oh yeah, I need a beer. I need that red Solo cup in my hand to have a good time. And you really don't. You really don't. Like I said, I went out, we did trivia night, we drank Pepsi. We even played a drinking game at this sports bar we went to, what is it, Wood and Iron. And we played like a little trivia, like drinking game with our cell phones. and there were punishments and penalties, and I was just drinking Pepsi, and I had a really good time. I wasn't like I said, resentful that I couldn't drink or take shots or do whatever. I just had a blast. I had a really, really good time. It was just great. Like I said, hanging out with friends that I work with outside of work for a change, getting to see them in a whole new light, and then just catching up with people I hadn't seen in forever that I used to work with and just haven't had a chance to catch up with. So it was just really, really awesome. And I just kind of wanted to give you guys a follow-up. I don't want you guys like watching the video going like, oh shit, Rob is celebrating 40 days and 40 nights of not drinking. Celebrating, if you will. It wasn't really that's why I was doing it. Like I was celebrating that specific reason. But Rob is going out on his 40 days, 40 nights without any drinks. To not just one bar, but two. And I didn't want you guys like, oh man, is he gonna slip? Is he gonna F up? Because I think about that all the time, like this whole thing I've been dealing with, it's all like cliches, it's all about cliches and like, you hear like these terms and these phrases and everything else. And the one that I'm really worried about, I love how the sunlight's coming in through here. You guys see all that? It's beautiful. The one that I'm really worried about is the relapse. I'm worried about the relapse. Everybody I think talks about it. I even remember there was like an episode, I guess, or two of Cheers, where Sam's a recovering alcoholic on that show. Ted Danson. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that just, I guess, kind of really shows that I am 42 years old. But I remember kind of realizing what a relapse was just watching Cheers and seeing Sam Malone go through that, being a recovering alcoholic himself, and then something would happen with him. He would relapse. He'd fall off the wagon, and so that's something that I'm aware of. I have friends I went to high school with who are dealing with different kinds of recovery, whether it's drug or alcohol or whatever, and there's always mention on like their Facebook pages and stuff of friends who are recovering and relapse, and it's kind of like they say it's kind of part of it. It's kind of like recovery and relapse and all of these things. It's all one and the same, and so there's a huge part of me that worries about the relapse, and I know it's possible, it happens, but it didn't happen Tuesday night. So proud to say everything is okay, you guys. I made it through one more day. We're gonna make it through today. Today I think we're on like day 42. So I think we'll make it through this day, and just take it one day at a time, guys. So each day gets a little bit easier. Some days get a little bit harder, but overall I think each day gets a little bit easier. Like I said, it's rewarding. Like I've been really busy at work too. There's people haven't been feeling well, or just had needed time off from work, and I'm able to fill in and kind of pick up the slack. I love it. I truly enjoy it. And that's another thing too. It's like these little things I mentioned, like being able to pick a friend up and get my friend home safely on a Tuesday night, knowing that she doesn't have to worry about driving drunk or anything, money even for like an Uber, whatever it is, just peace of mind, just being there for your friend, and then be able to be there for, like I said, my employers. I could just typically that's like what I would want to do, like on my days off. If I had like a stretch of like 2 or 3 days off, I'd be day drinking on one of those days, and just like I'd be looking forward to my wife going to work, leaving me at home alone, waiting for that alcohol store to open, and actually like kind of like looking forward to just like day drinking to the point where I just kind of like it's kind of like pass out. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Just going to watch Total Recall and just pass out halfway through it, you know. Like that's typically what I would want. Then like, you know, something would happen where, you know, 3 o'clock rolls around, 2 o'clock rolls around, my boss calls, like, oh, hey, look, somebody called out. Oh, I can't. Oh, something's going on. I got something going on tonight. You know, just lying. Just being a liar. I don't feel good. And then I day drink all the next day, and then I wind up calling out because I don't feel good. God, it's awful. Such an awful cycle to be stuck in, man. Such an awful cycle to be stuck in. But it feels, like I said, it feels good to be able to know that, like, you know, hey, you know, whatever you like. It helps too because I'm working so much. It's like, you know, it helps kind of take my mind off of things. It just, you know, keeps me focused on something else. And like I said, at the end of the day, it just also just feels good to know that, like I said, my manager can, you know, stay home, or this person can take a day off, this person can go on vacation, and if you need me to work all day, I'll do it. I'm willing to do it, you know. So anyway, guys, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for hanging out, listening to me. If you know, you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you're new to this whole channel, you don't know what's going on, please go back, you know, subscribe to this video for more follow-ups, and then, you know, go back and just kind of watch some of the past videos, kind of catch up, see how this all started. You know, hopefully you'll find it a little bit entertaining, and then you might even find some other cool stuff in there. We do a lot of comic book videos, video game stuff, so, you know, make sure you subscribe. You never know what you're going to find on Rob's Arcade. I would really appreciate it. Just hit me a little thumbs up just to show your support. A little comment down below. Let me know you're watching. I always love reading my comments. And of course, if you know anybody going through anything similar, like, you know, like any kind of secret, anything they're dealing with, they're not getting out, please share this video. It could really help somebody. And, you know, at the end of the day, I think that's what's most important, is just being able to help somebody else, you know, get through something that they're dealing with, whether it's big or small. So share this video, get it out there, let's get more people in the arcade. This is a goodbye, simply to be continued. And until next time, please, guys, don't spend that quarter anywhere else. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you later. Don't try this at home.